Welcome to Your Energy Minds podcast. My name is Natalie Joy.
And I'm Cammie D. You're listening to Your Energy Minds podcast,
where we discuss physical, mental, and energy bodies. We'll share topics about how you can ignite your human experience and fuel your life's purpose.
Think of us as your intuitive soul sisters, riding alongside you on your journey. We are Your Energy Minds.
Welcome back to Energy Minds.
Today's topic, we're talking about intuition. What is intuition?
According to the internet, if you were to Google the word intuition, it's described as the ability to understand something instinctively, without the need for conscious reasoning. It typically manifests as a gut feeling or an immediate insight into a situation. What's your definition of intuition, Cammie?
Well, mine goes back to what you said. It's that gut feeling. It's that I just know, and I don't know how I know. To me, I also like to describe it as intuition as that whisper, that thing that you hear in your ear when it says, when you want to go right and you hear go left. That's your intuition. And when you go left, you're like, okay, wow, if I would have went right, I'd have missed that accident or something like that, or I would have been a part of that.
Yeah. And I've heard people say intuition is knowing without knowing how you know. So yes, like you make decisions, you may change your mind, you may go a different direction, and you don't really know why. You just have this feeling or this urge or this tap on your shoulder to do something different than you normally do, and you can't really explain why.
Yeah, I also feel like intuition is this guide for life. As a child, intuition's always been guiding you. You didn't know why and know where and knew how, but you just knew that, like, hey, it helped me evolve. It told me which way to go. It told me I should be this. It told me, however, it kept me from danger. That's what I feel like intuition is.
Yeah, I think it's like a guardian angel or a bodyguard or a teacher showing you a different way to go, a yes or a no. But still, this feeling in your body that you can't explain what it is, it's just a knowing that you have to do something because it's urging you one way or the other. So here are some ways to recognize your intuition. Intuitive feelings often come on quickly, and you don't have to think about them a lot. You may just know something without having to think through it step by step.
Also, intuition also can be an emotional response. Intuition can be accompanied by a strong emotion or a physical sensation, such as a feeling of excitement or anxiety in your gut.
And that's what can be kind of confusing, I think, is because you sit there and you're like, is this emotion? Is this my intuition? I feel it in my gut. I feel anxiety, but anxiety is quite often excitement. So I know I've struggled with that in the past, where I really have to sit with it and figure out if it's my intuition. And like the first one said, it's almost immediate. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to step by step. You don't have to deliberate trying to figure it out. It's just, I know. It's that first immediate response. Intuition can sometimes give you clarity. If you're confused, it can give you insights, provide clarity in complex situations where typically you feel overwhelmed, like I was saying. Sometimes it's hard to tell if it's excitement or anxiety. Is this my intuition or is this just emotional feelings? But if you sit with it, that intuition will actually give you clarity, and then you will just know. It'll be that knowing that you can't deny.
Intuition can also arise from like subtle cues in your environment, such as your body language. Sometimes, like when people are like, something's going on and you can tell that it's not a good situation, or if it's a great situation, your body might tense up or it might be more relaxed. The tone of someone's voice, that you could tell intuition.
The energy in the situation too. If someone comes up to you with a smile on their face, but inside you find yourself almost going in. Have you ever seen someone kind of move their shoulders in, cross their arms almost in a protective way, protecting your heart? Sometimes you just get this intuition even from seeing someone's face not match the energy that's coming at you. So
yes,
that's kind of
agree.
Can use that interchangeably with the energy or intuition within your body that allows you to read the room.
Or the environment that you're in. You're like you said, you go in, you read the room. You can just tell. You can go places and you're like, or this is gonna be good. This this might not be, or you just
sometimes before you walk in the room,
yes,
you just get a gut feeling if something's off.
Yes, exactly.
Intuition is really a gift for all of us. It's leading us into what decisions align with who we are and maybe what our higher self is trying to tell us. And quite often, let's say you interviewed for 3 separate jobs and you're making a list of pros and cons, even though from the get-go you loved the first interview you had, but still your mental body gets into play and you need to make a list and you have to figure out in a mindful way, but not mindful in the way of listening to your intuition. So you get confused and you overthink things.
Yeah.
Where intuition comes in quick, it'll stand out right away. But then when our minds get involved, we overlook that. We don't trust it. We really need to learn to trust our intuition, and that's often a challenge that we all have with that.
Yes, Nellie. See, I think about when you just said that, it makes me think about taking a test. You remember being in high school, you had the ABCD test, and you get to a question, you're like, man, I don't really know the answer. But your intuition already told you to pick B. It came fast. Pick B, but you thought too hard about it and you end up picking D, and then or you end up picking D. You go back to it, you look at the answer when it's corrected, it was B. You're like, dang!
You're like, I knew it was
it was B because it told you. It came quick, but you ignore it sometimes.
Yeah, you just let that mind and your emotions and stress gets involved. So we are hoping to expand this podcast topic and also talk about some of the myths between what intuition is not. And then also we want to talk about how you can tap in and trust your intuition and some of the things you can do to grow yourself in understanding what intuition is and trusting that in making decisions, good and bad, and just listening and feeling into the energy of the intuition that's within you.
Yeah, and knowing how important your intuition is, not just taking it as just like, hey, however, but when you learn to use it, it can be like the gift that she said. It can direct your path in a positive way and some of the things you want in life, just listening to your intuition.
Yeah, so join us next time and we'll talk more about the myths around intuition and then how we can tap in and grow our intuition awareness. If you could take a minute to like this podcast episode and share it with your friends, we would really appreciate it. We'd also love to hear from you. You can email us comments, questions, or topics you'd like us to discuss. Our email is yourenergyminds@yahoo.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.